We are back with yet another Matchmaker Monday. I'm hammering out this series. We're getting it on. We're getting this into something. And listen, we're gonna start right off the bat with the main event at the weekend, Merab Dvalishvili, and he is going to be looking like he's going to be taking on a Corey Sandhagen in his next title defense, and it's quite an interesting fight because it's kind of the only fight left for Merab in that division that he kind of hasn't seen yet. You know what I mean? Some people are talking about the Umar Nurmagomedov rematch. I don't want to fucking see that shit, man. Umar doesn't fucking deserve it, okay? He barely deserved the first title shot. You know, he got it off beating Corey. He sure as fuck doesn't deserve, an immediate rematch when he literally lost the title fight off beating the ranked 3 or 4 contender. Corey Sandhagen has been knocking on the door for fucking years, okay? As long as I have been watching the UFC, this guy has been one fight away, or he just slipped up, he lost to Yan, you lose to TJ Dillashaw, you know what I mean? And then you lose to Umar, and he's always just so close. You beat Cheeto, you beat Rob Font, you beat Song Yadong, you beat all these guys. You beat Figueiredo. Like, he's got a fucking insane resume. Rob Font, Song Yadong, Davison Figueiredo, Cheeto Vera, Mal Moraes, Frankie Edgar, and he's just slipping short of that one win that's really gonna cement him as a number 1 contender. And I'll be honest, I don't necessarily think Davison Figueiredo is that kind of a fight to where, like, I'm not sitting here saying it's undeniably Corey next, but I definitely think it is going to be Corey, and I definitely think it's kind of the only fight left at Merab's career. And like, Corey's been around, like I've said, for so long, so just give him a fucking shot. Give him a crack at Merab. Give him a crack at an actual undisputed title shot. Don't fucking give me this bullshit of, oh well, he fought Yan. He fought Yan in Abu Dhabi on short notice after Aljamain Sterling pulled out. Okay, it doesn't necessarily count. Okay, I want to see Corey get an actual title shot here. And if you're beating you're beating Figueiredo, but you took Umar on, when no one else would. You didn't really have to. You probably could have sat out and wait and got like a Sean O'Malley or Peter Yan later down the road. But he chose to stay active and he chose to fight Umar. You know what I mean? And when he was on a 3-fight win streak, how can you not admire that? Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you're taking on these challenges like the Umars, you should be rewarded. He got rewarded with a nice Figueiredo matchup. He's on a win. Umar's coming off a loss to Merab. Do you really want to book that? And I get Umar probably, has a very good chance of beating Merab in the rematch, simply because if you look at the first fight, Umar broke his hand, which was a talking point, okay? I'm not sure what round it was in, but Umar had a broken hand. He was fucking sizzling Merab up the first 2 rounds. That's just undeniable, okay? Umar was winning the first 2 rounds very comfortably until the same thing happens to everyone. The gas tank went out for Umar, and Merab just took over. If Umar gets one more round of cardio in him, let's say Umar can push it for 15 minutes in the skill level that he was doing, like, it was insane. Umar is unbelievable. He's going to beat Merab, okay? He's going to beat Merab. He just needs one more round of cardio based on the first performance to get the job done against Merab, okay? The thing about Corey is that kind of makes the fight, a bit interesting, is he's probably the most dangerous fighter that Merab can fight in that division, in my opinion, and we'll break that down. So he's fought some pretty fucking tough guys. We'll start with Peter Yan. Peter Yan doesn't necessarily have a KOing shot in him. You know what I mean? He just has like a bunch of combinations to where you might wilt, or I know he knocked out Uriah Faber and shit like that, but Yan is not known for his power. Yan's just known for being a fucking G and being an absolute savage and, getting the job done that way. Sean O'Malley 100% is dangerous, okay? Sean O'Malley has that shot that he can find. He's got elusive striking. He's got unbelievable footwork. The dude's an absolute beast. But if you look at O'Malley, he doesn't necessarily have like a flying knee. He doesn't have like a submission. I don't know, Corey's submissions aren't exactly the best in the world, but they're definitely good. He doesn't have that, okay? He does not have that. He just kind of has like a shot that he can find. He doesn't have like a flying knee to where Merab has to worry about, okay, like if I'm shooting in here, I need to worry about this knee. Corey Sandhagen has that. Corey Sandhagen has those, elusive movements to where he's going to be able to find knees. And I don't know if you all remember, like Corey's got like a sandwich from Merab and it don't taste good. We're going to find out exactly how that sandwich tastes fairly soon. And I can see Corey being dangerous to Merab. I can see it being like he's got elite takedown defense, but I've said this before, like in my last video, I'm honestly at the stage now where I don't necessarily think having bulletproof takedown defense is, you know, any justice to you at all against Merab, because if anything, it's going to wear you out more. It's going to wear you out more. Look at the Peter Yan fight. He just got so tired getting up off takedowns. That's the reality. Yan just got so tired getting up off takedowns, and Corey's definitely got, you know, the big knee. He doesn't have, and plus, like, I know Cejudo is like an Olympic gold wrestler, but Corey Sandhagen's a very good offensive wrestler that has really come into his own in the grappling the last few years. You know, you look at the Cheeto fights, even the Song Yadong fights, Corey was doing well in the grappling there. The Figueiredo fights, Rob Font, obviously he tore his tricep in that one. He got a shitload of hate, but, like, you know, get over it, okay? He's allowed one kind of shit performance. He fucking schooled Cheeto when Cheeto was on this massive run and everyone thought Cheeto was going to be the next big thing, and I saw right through it. Okay? Cheeto was overrated from the start. If you look before that, the Frankie Edgar fight, I bet on a Corey Sandhagen decision, and I never bet. Like, it's extremely rare for me to bet. And I got that one done. Let me see if I can. Yeah. And I actually picked Corey decision that one. I wasn't making videos back then, obviously, but, like, the fact that Corey has something that we haven't seen yet against Merab makes it interesting, in my opinion. It's kind of similar to why O'Malley was interesting against Merab in the first place. It was kind of like a, oh shit, apologies, O'Malley might clip Merab. He has that shot to, you know, he could find it. And that's why the rematch, even though it was kind of dead, was somewhat interesting. Because we were all sitting there, we were like, you know, O'Malley might find that shot. I'm going to tune in. But that's what you're tuning in for. It's the might. But, like, with the Umar fight, we all kind of thought, okay, Umar's just kind of better than him. I genuinely thought Umar was just going to outclass Merab. And he did. He did. I can't stress that enough. Umar did outclass Merab. But the gas tank is just the best in UFC history. Okay? Corey's not going to go in there with, like, a... Even Corey might go in there and, you know... Why not offensively wrestle Merab? No one really tries that, okay? Merab gets clipped. You know you have that threat of you know, throwing a knee. If you're able to get Merab down in, like, the first round, okay, Merab's probably going to pop back up straight away. But that's a mental win for Corey, okay? That's a mental win. It kind of shows Merab, okay, I can fucking do this too. You're not going to come in and do this to me. He has the knee, and he has this spinning shit that Merab just hasn't seen before, okay? I honestly think Corey's the most dangerous fighter Merab has fought. Stylistically, I think he's... You know, O'Malley's kind of like... O'Malley's definitely, like I said, dangerous. But he's dangerous for one reason. At least Corey has the grappling. Corey has the kind of knee up the middle. Corey has the spinning shit. And he's got decent striking. He's got decent boxing to go along with it. He's got elusive movement, okay? He's going to be moving the whole time. O'Malley's got really good footwork. But he's not like a mover like Corey. Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't move quite the same. Having said how much I think Corey's, you know, dangerous to Merab, I'm not picking Corey to beat him. Do you know what I mean? Don't take this as I think Corey Sandhagen's going to beat Merab Dvalishvili. I don't, but I just think he has a good chance. I think stylistically he can win this fight. I think Corey's just good, man. I think Corey's fucking good. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Because there's so many Mitchy matches the way this can go. You know, we probably have a Yan versus Umar next, hopefully. Some people want to see O'Malley versus Yan. Some people want to see O'Malley versus Umar. There's so many different ways. The kind of triangle of Sean, Umar and Yan is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm going with Corey versus, you know, Merab, and then Umar versus Yan. I think that makes the most sense, you know. Next up, we have Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland picked up a submission win the other day, okay? And it's going to be interesting to see what Kevin Holland does with his career, because we don't really know with that guy. But I would fucking love to see a Carlos Prates fight. I would love to see that. I would love to see Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates just lost to Ian Gary. Quite comfortably as well. I think it was like 3-2 Ian Gary. But still, Carlos Prates did fucking nothing for the first, like, 3 rounds. So there's not really much you can do for Carlos Prates' career in that situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't give him the fight. I know he had Ian, like, you know when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't find, you looking for something, but you can't find these fucking glasses. Okay, and I'm just scrounging everywhere. I'm like, where the fuck are they? That's what Ian Gary was like. That's what Ian Gary was like at the end of that 5th round. He didn't know where he was. He was like, what the fuck? And Carlos Prates has very good striking. Kevin Holland is game. Prates is game. I would love to see it. I would love to see Kevin Holland actually fucking try and go far in the division. I would love that. Because the dude is so inconsistent. It's so fucking annoying. Kevin Holland is actually a beast. Okay? Holland is actually seriously skilled. But he just misses putting it together up here, in my opinion. Okay? I'll use Michael Venom Page as like a good example. So when he fought MVP, I kind of felt like MVP was schooling him so bad that Holland kind of just gave up in the middle of the cage. He kind of felt like, I have nothing for this guy. Let me just go into my talking mode and make it seem like I'm just taking the piss. Okay? I honestly thought that's what Holland was like. I thought he was just in the cage being like, you know, I have nothing for this guy. So let me just, you know, talk and make it seem like it's better. But it's not at all. Like, at all. Okay? It just makes me fucking annoyed as a fan of Kevin Holland. Like, if you just try and go far in divisions, okay, try and put it all together up here, because that's all I really think Kevin Holland is missing. Welterweight has some decent grapplers. Obviously, you have Bilal, you have Brady. They're kind of the main two. Shavkat can grapple as well. But you've got these long limbs for the division where you're going to be able to find shots on shorter opponents. I think you would be able to find shots on a Sean Brady, but you don't have the grappling to beat Sean Brady. Exact same thing with Bilal Muhammad. You struggled to find shots in the Jack Daniel Medellin fight. I thought JDM won that fight clear. I think I had like 2-1 or 3-0. I can't fucking remember, to be honest. It's quite a while ago, that fight. 2 and a bit years ago, I think, which is insane to think. I thought JDM won the fight, which shows how good JDM is. Like, he's beating people like, you know, fucking Bilal, Holland, Burns. Like, the dude is an absolute beast. But for Holland, I feel like even a Gilbert Burns would be a great fight. Gilbert Burns would be a great fight. That's a fight he can definitely win, and it's kind of a higher ranked opponent to get him up. Wonderboy was the one. That Wonderboy fight still fucking annoys me, to be honest with you. It still pisses me off. Why are you agreeing to trade with Wonderboy? Did you just go into that fight thinking, I'm fucked here, let me earn the respect of the fans by saying I'm not going to shoot? If you had shot, you would have had more success, and you would have been at the top of that division, because that's when Wonderboy was like ranked like 5 or 6. Do you know what I mean? But the dude just, I don't know what it is with Kevin Holland. I honestly don't know. He says he doesn't want to be champion. Why don't you want to be a fucking champion? You're in the UFC. You're clearly good enough to beat top contenders. Why aren't you trying to put it all together to get a title shot? What's the mentality here? I get you want to get paid, but do you not think if you got the belt, you would get paid an insane amount more than what you already on? Double, triple, fucking even. I know Kevin Holland gets paid. I'm not denying that. But if he had the belt, he would A, become such a big name, and B, he would get paid way more. I just don't understand what it is. People like Bobby Green as well. Bobby Green said, fuck the belt, I want to get paid. They mustn't understand that if you have the belt, you'll get paid even more. Like, is that like, you know, a maths equation that I'm just completely missing here? I really don't understand it, okay? How the fight goes, Prates' range and Holland's range that I talked about that they use to their advantage, you know, Holland as well, I don't really see that. I see it kind of cancelling out a bit. Carlos Prates needs to be active more early in his fights now. You cannot really be a Peter Yan kind of esque fighter to where you take a round or two off, especially if you're going to be fighting in 3-rounders. To be fair, this was the first time you had a 5 rounds, so you need to stop fucking smoking as well. Stop fucking smoking cigarettes. I understand it's cool. It makes you look badass on a fucking Instagram post. But you don't need that shit. Do you know what I mean? You don't need that fucking shit. Okay, you want to be a champion. You want to be one of the best in the world. These are the sacrifices you have to make. And that's a fact. Okay? Both of their kind of range that they use, I feel like could be cancelled out. I feel like Holland might be a bit active on the feet as well, but Prates can definitely get in and find Holland's chin. This is a fucking banging fight. As regards submissions, Holland's definitely way better. And if I'm Holland, I'm trying to get this guy down, and I feel like you can submit him. Kevin Holland has way better jiu-jitsu than Ian Gary. It's a fact. It's a fact. Kevin Holland wouldn't beat Ian Gary because Ian Gary would keep him at range, but Holland has way better jiu-jitsu than an Ian Gary. In my opinion, I honestly think that's, you know, I don't think that's an absolutely outrageous statement, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. That Holland is way easier to wrap people up. Like Ian Gary, when's the last time he got a submission? He hasn't got a submission win in the UFC, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? I've watched every single one of Ian Gary's fights since he's been in the promotion. I've watched them since he fought, who was it? For his Cage Warriors title. I can't fucking remember the guy's name. Jack Grant, that was it. When he fought Jack Grant for the title, I've been watching him all the way back then, man, before he was in the UFC. And the dude has no jiu-jitsu, but he has really good range and stuff like that. And Holland just needs to put it all together, but he just doesn't. He just doesn't, man. And it's so annoying. But anyway, I'd be going with Kevin Holland on that one. Next up, if you watch this series, you know I kind of do like 2 fights from a card that just happened, and then I go into like a fight that I just want to see. But this fight's been popping up in my feed a bit. I want to see Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez, and I don't think this is quite a ridiculous statement to make. I think a lot of people want to see this fight. But Yair Rodriguez just turns it down. He's openly said he just wants to fight Volkanovski. And absolutely no way in hell should Yair Rodriguez ever be fighting Volkanovski. That would be an absolute disgrace. The UFC put this fight on a fucking platter for Yair versus Lopez in the UFC Noche, the Mexico card. It was written in the fucking stars to happen, okay? But Yair, no, I want to fight Daniel, man. I want to fight Volkanovski. I want to fight for the Daniel, man. That's terrible Yair Rodriguez impression, but I'm still gonna do it. You know, I want to fight with the Daniel, man. I want to fight with Volkanovski, man. Fuck me. But he's just like, apparently, now it's only apparently, to be fair, he's apparently turned down the Diego Lopez fight. Okay, why, bro? Okay, if Volkanovski actually does fight Yair, I actually would consider just like never watching featherweight again until like Gene Silva comes up and just chins someone and gets the belt, someone like that, or Arnold Allen gets the belt, someone who's not part of that generation of Yair, fucking Volk. Even if they fight, I will just be like, that is too much of a disgrace for me to get behind. And that is genuinely a fact. That is an abomination of a fight, if that is true. I really fucking hope it's not, because it would just ruin the credibility. Unless they're trying to get every last drop out of Volkanovski's last kind of title run, then I'm like, oh, okay. Makes a little bit of sense. But, again, it just doesn't make any sense regardless. Bro, it does not make any sense regardless. The UFC are fucking fumbling the bag with Yair versus Lopez. You shouldn't offer, you know, Yair Rodriguez to fight Diego Lopez. You should fucking make him fight. And I got some fucking lad went at me on my TikTok being like, what made you think you can give an opinion on fighters when you're not a fighter yourself? So fucking soft, okay? Some people in these comments, they're so soft that I say this person should fight that person. This was on a Tom Aspinall, John Jones video as well. I said they should strip him. Some people get their feelings so hurt by me saying a UFC fighter should fight a UFC fighter. That is fucking insane. I said Yair versus Lopez should be happening. Make Yair fight Diego Lopez or get him the fuck out. I always say it. Leon Edwards turned down fights and they fucking removed him from the rankings. Okay? Where's that treatment? Why aren't we bringing that back? It's just insane that you can just turn down fights and be like, no, I'm fighting for the title. It fucking blows my mind. The UFC should have said, no, you're fucking not. You beat a Bellator fighter. That keeps shaking around. No, you're fucking not. You beat someone that had no wins in the UFC and was in Bellator and is past his prime. You got fucking annihilated by Volkanovski in the first fight. Who do you think you are to sit here and say, oh yeah, man, fight Volkanovski, man? No. Such fucking soy fuckers in the comments too, me saying, this guy should fight that guy. Imagine being so soft, so fucking soft, that you go at me because I say John Jones should be stripped and Tom Aspinall should, and he should fight Tom Aspinall. Imagine being that. And I mentioned John Jones a steroid cheat, which he is. God forbid I just said a fact that John Jones is a multiple time steroid cheat. God forbid. Anyway, the Yair versus Lopez fight. I think Diego Lopez beats Yair. Maybe that's a part of the reason why he doesn't want to fight him, because he knows, he's like, hey man, this guy's fucking dangerous, man. You know what I mean? Maybe he wants fucking no smoke with Diego Lopez, which is fine. You know what I mean? No, it's actually not fine, actually. What am I even saying? No, it's not fucking fine. He should be fighting Diego Lopez. It's a banger fight. Yair can win. Yair can definitely win. I don't think it's an absolute 100% lock, because Yair can use his range on Lopez. But Lopez is going to get inside, and he's going to throw hands. He's just went 5 rounds with Volkanovski, so he can go 5 rounds. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight, okay? I would fucking love to see this fight. But Yair, man, you got to give me something to work with. You've never been an active fighter. That's the thing. You just were never active, okay? A lot of people say he ducks to beat. I wouldn't even say that because they were scheduled to fight. I remember someone pulled out. I can't even remember. That would have been fucking elite. Absolutely elite. But We have this. So just make the fight, UFC. I think Lopez will be able to get into range of Yair. Yair definitely has unbelievable kicks, but I feel like Lopez's speed is such an issue for fighters. I think it's such an issue. Yair's not going to be able to outclass him like Volk did, and I also think Lopez has great jiu-jitsu to where Yair's probably not going to fuck with him on the ground either. I know Yair's decent on the ground, but Yair 100% can keep out range with Lopez. Zap him with your shots. Get at range with your kicks. You have unbelievable kicks. Fucking use them in this fight, okay? You can beat Diego Lopez 100%. I'd probably pick Diego. I am picking Diego Lopez if this fight happens, but you 100% have the skill set and the two bags to go far, man. You could be you're a top featherweight for years, even though you haven't really beaten anyone. But you could beat a lot of these guys. You know, Arnold Allen's another great fight. Probably pick Yair. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I probably would pick Arnold to beat him, actually. I had that on the Matchmaker Monday, actually. Yeah, I would pick Arnold. I don't know what I'm saying here. You fucking fumbled the bag so bad against Brian Ortega. Like, that was absolutely horrible. Like, that was woeful, bro. That was bad. That was bad. Okay? And we'll end it on that note. Matchmaker Monday is back, baby. Let's go. Like, subscribe, all that good shit. Thanks for watching.